Junk. Repair. Hey, you guys remember getting this thing?
Isn't that Doc's pocket watch that he gave to you after Plushy Shy died?
No, not a pocket watch. It's more along the lines of an hourglass locket kind of thing. What do you have on it, whiteboard?
The file's listed under unknown, but it's one of our oldest records. Dated around 2013, however, it resembles a device in the Doctor's Cloud called a time stabilizer.
Whoa, time stabilizers. I heard about those, but they're super rare. Where'd you find one of those, Robin?
I don't remember. I don't think I was doing time travel stuff back then. Could you maybe give this thing a scan and check maybe Doc's records and see if it matches up with anything?
You know, I don't think you appreciate all the work I do around here. Scanning all the artifacts in the house and labeling them according to date and type, and now you want me to do more work for you on top of all that?
What are you talking about? I thank you all the time for the work you do around here. You even get benefits and time off and all that stuff.
Yeah, because to an anthropomorphic plushie, an AI built into a whiteboard, and a time-traveling demigod, dental is the most important thing on our minds.
Could you please shut up?
Was just joking.
You were joking? What do you mean, joking?
Messing with you, joshing ya, being a cheeky little bust.
I know what joking means, whiteboard. I meant, what are you talking about?
Oh, I'll scan it, but I was replicating the conflict for the review you're about to do.
That was set up for the review.
Yeah, it's pretty much just a bit of segue for the review. I've already started scanning the device and searching for references in Doc's files. You have about 10 minutes to do whatever needs to be done.
Alright then. Whiteboard and I are doing one of the classic sitcom tropes, where one person really doesn't understand how hard the other person has it. Which kind of leads us perfectly into talking about the good, the bad, and what we think overall in A Royal Problem. Because my name is Robin0928, and welcome back to My Little Robin Reviewing His Magic. That feels off in some way. I can't really tell.
Well, this episode is a really good chance to talk about Starlight Glimmer on her own, as she is, in my opinion, one of the best characters in the episode. In an episode with only 3 characters. Shut up. Starlight taking command in this episode was really cool, as you can see a clear difference in how a former villain takes control of a situation involving characters that the normal protagonists regularly revere. Especially seeing her interactions with Twilight in the episode makes her character much more fleshed out than if Twilight wasn't in the episode. But back to Starlight, she had some real fleshing out with her psyche in the episode, seeing how her mind solves problems by going with her gut reaction. It's cool to see a different method of problem solving after watching the main 6's careful approach method to everything that they do. And speaking of psyche, let's talk about my favorite scene in the episode, the nightmare. This reminded me a lot of Do Princess's Dream of Magic Sheep, which I never reviewed due to personal issues having pretty stark parallels to the events in the episode. But I've grown since then, and I'm fine to talk about the episode's depiction of fear and self-loathing. MLP, for a show that is meant for a young audience, actually handles a real form of depression and fear in a way that shows designed for a mature audience fail to do. It's the subtlety of the movements and how they show Starlight in the dream sequence, reminding me a lot of my own, yeah. Let's, move past that and back into happier territory. This episode revealed a lot about the dynamic between Celestia and Luna, and I really enjoy it. There's a bit of sibling rivalry and annoyance at the attention that Celestia gets and the exhaustion that Luna feels. I'm gonna get into a bit of negative that I have with this episode and this dynamic, but for the most part, it's really well executed. The humor of this episode is also really good. This season is really playing with how the show handles humor based upon which characters are in the forefront. With an episode based on Celestia and Luna, the episode is taking a very slow, sarcastic look at the humor focused upon those side characters. It's a pretty cool thing that I see this season. Another major highlight is the production design in the episode. It's really cool to see more of the castle in Canterlot, and the sequence where Celestia enters the Dream Realm might be one of the coolest bits of animation I've seen from the show. Moving back into that Dream Realm, I have to say that Daybreaker's design was one of the coolest villain designs we've seen in a few seasons. It's a really cool twist that Celestia gets to her design, and even her voice. It's such a cool change that Nicole Oliver, the voice of Celestia, actually was nominated for her role as Daybreaker in a guest appearance. Damn. That's awesome. Finally, I've got to say a pretty dumb thing. I really like how Celestia with Luna's cutie mark looks. It's weird, but I really like the contrast of a white pony with a jet black cutie mark. Now that I've gushed about this episode for a while, let's talk about the few problems I had. While I did say I liked Twilight in the episode, I did find some of her appearances, especially the end of the episode, to be rather annoying. It's just really jarring to see emotional scenes punctuated with a super comical appearance by an overstressed Twilight Sparkle. The ending might be the worst culprit. Rather than being happy to see her pupil succeed, or even being calm around her mentor, she's just as wired as she was for the entire episode. Another annoying thing in this episode I didn't like 100% is how one-sided the whole conflict felt. Yeah, they tried to balance the conflict out by having Luna fail with the students, adding weight to a ceremonial position that Celestia fills. By the way, it's super cool to see Luna's nightmares, but Luna feels so much more justified in her annoyance. She feels unappreciated for the work that she puts into making positive dreams, and yet Celestia gets to soak in all the glory. Celestia, on the other hand, is annoyed that Luna doesn't appreciate her pancakes. Yeah, I know there's layers to this idea, with her thinking that Luna doesn't have a positive attitude and she thinks Luna has it so easy when she learns about her jobs. It's supposed to signify her change in perspective, but it's pretty weird. Another thing that bothered me is that Celestia doesn't understand Luna's responsibility. Did she not fight nightmares for 1,000 years when Luna was sealed away? Or is Celestia really as evil as fans joke about her being? This isn't a quick little joke at the expense of Celestia, by the way. This line of thinking kinda destroys the conflict of the episode, as Celestia should absolutely understand the Luna's predicament. Or she just wasn't doing a good job of protecting ponies from nightmares for 1,000 years. Other than that, there's not much I can comment on. Oh, yeah, I think that Luna having Celestia's cutie mark is pretty ugly. Dark blues and pastel yellows don't mix together really well. Overall, most of my negatives range from mild problems to universe-shattering overthinking that ruin the plot, but it really doesn't stop me from loving this episode. It's really good. There's a lot of emotions packed into the several scenes that can really distract from the mildly irritating plot holes. In the end, this is one of the best and most emotional episodes that has happened over the last few seasons. And either way, my name is Robin0928, and I will see you all next time in the 5th anniversary of My Little Robin reviewing his magic.
Finish up the scans and references, Mum.
Alright, whiteboard, what do you have?
Well, the references match up. It's a device called a time stabilizer.
Yeah, those things are supposed to be super dangerous.
I mean, time travel is pretty dangerous. From what I've heard, these things can keep a person stable when they're time traveling.
Yeah, time travel is a pretty imprecise science. It's something more like ripping your body into billions of pieces and trying to materialize them into a time period in which those same pieces don't exist, rather than just, a teleportation.
Alright, we are getting way off topic here. Where did we get one of these, whiteboard?
Was it Doc that gave it to you?
Huh. The timeline of July and August 2013 doesn't allow for this to make any sense. Could it possibly be an aberration? Didn't Doc say that those could come from the past?
Promise me you'll be back in time.